communication. Communication is one of the biggest. Oh my god, I'm going through my courtship book now and I'm like, communication, we took time to discuss it because I don't know, but to ladies, communication matters a lot. And hi guys, good afternoon and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Grateful Valuemama. Just in case you're a new subscriber, welcome. I'm so happy to have you here. And if you're a returning subscriber, I don't know what to tell you, but my love is with you. Thank you so much for coming to support. If you're a new subscriber, don't forget to click the subscription bell below. Subscribe to this channel. Go through my videos. You'll find more interesting videos. Like this video. Comment in the comment section because this is gonna be a banger. And then what else? Comment, share the video to your friends, and most importantly, subscribe to my channel. I love you guys. So let's get into this video proper. So today, guys, today we are going to be discussing something very important. Like from the description box you can see topics to discuss. Topic to discuss in courtship. Before I go into this topic, into this discussion proper, I want to say something. First of all, I feel like this video is going to be done in 2 parts. I'm not going to do everything here because it's going to be a very long one. Now, I made a video talking about how I met my husband, and someone asked me, was 1 year enough to know him? You guys courted for 1 year or dated for 1 year or whatever. Is he enough to know him? And my reply to the person was, you can't know a man. You can't know a man. That's why you need the Spirit of God. That's why you need God as a child of God to be able to guide you aright. But then, you see this issue of courtship. I thank God I was brought up in a church that encouraged it. Because so many people, what they do is they date for like 6 years. And what happened in the period of this dating is not like they are planning to get married. Maybe they just talk about it in person and both of them know that they are going to spend their lives together. But it's just like catching up on themselves. How is your day going? Just keeping themselves accountable without having any formal discussion about marriage. Then the guy proposed and the next thing you see is IV, wedding, and all that. So this is why I feel like courtship, a formal discussion. Courtship is like a period that gives you guys time to formally discuss and formally plan for your marriage and for your wedding proper. So many of us just plan for wedding, but then courtship allows you to plan for your marriage and your wedding. It's different from when you're dating. It's totally different from dating because in courtship you are guided, you have authorities over you, people you report to. If you wish to submit to people you report to, you have places where you jot down things that you discuss during the courtship period. I like to just say though, things you discuss during the courtship period. So that's why I feel like courtship is totally different and it gives you guys room for discussion. You know, doing dating, you say a lot of things in person and sometimes it's not taken serious because there was no agreement. You just assume this person should know this is what you like because you guys have been together for a while. But when you're courting, you have topics that you're working with, you guys agree to discuss it together with, and then like you reach agreements before you proceed to the next topic. You don't just leave things hanging, right? Then another thing is this: some people say courtship is just it's just a waste of time because most times after discussing and writing it down, when you enter the real marriage, you find out that you're not keeping to a lot of things. And this is my response. I feel like the same way the set goes, because people say it's not easy to do this because you procrastinate, it's not easy to do this, it's not easy to do this, and you now sit down and you set goals, this is what I want to do, and you discipline yourself to achieve them. It's the same way you should discipline yourself to follow some things that you discussed during courtship. Now, that's the idea. The idea is making it flexible, knowing that some circumstances, some situations, some externalities could come into place, be willing to adjust and to adapt. But you having the knowledge, the pre-knowledge that people don't always follow what they discuss in courtship during marriage, I think it should be one thing that you should look forward to, setting it as a goal that you guys would try to keep to your discussions. Once in a while, you go through your courtship guide or courtship book once in a while. When you guys are just having that pet pillow talk, you go through your courtship book. How far are we keeping up to this? At least for the foundation period of your marriage, till you get used to some things where you don't have to look at the book and stuff like that. Also, whether you keep to it or not, I feel like courtship allows you to get to know the perspective of the person you're going to get married to. it's not necessary going on. Sorry, it's necessary because I mean I love it, but I think it's not the only thing going on dinner dates and all that with the person you want to get married to, hanging out, making mushy calls, and I think that's not just all, because if you don't know this person's perspective on certain issues, you enter and you're full of surprises, and you're like, marriage is full of surprises from the first night to the last night and everything. I feel like some surprises could be avoided, could be averted when you have this discussion. So guys, I don't want to take time today because it looks like it's a very lengthy, this is going to be a very lengthy video, except I cut it short into 2 parts, which I hope to do. So I want to list out some topics to you guys, and then what I feel you should discuss. If you watch through to this point, to the point of hearing the topics, you understand that some of these things not even cross your mind. For 1 year you guys were in a relationship, you never thought about it. So this is going to open your eyes to the reason why you have to discuss these topics doing courtship, and not just discussing it sorry, discussing it prayerfully. Yes, because it's not just discussing it, it's discussing it and reaching agreement prayerfully, going back to God to hear what God has to say about a particular area of your life, because it is going to be a whole life happening to you both. So let's get into it proper. First of all, I think it is advisable to get a courtship book. This was a compulsory thing for everyone to do. People that passed through my church marriage committee process, everybody was made to get a courtship book, and I think it is very important because I don't think it was just, I feel it gives you guys that sense of seriousness that this is something serious, this is something formal. I have an agreement, we have an agreement, we both have it by our side and we can both refer to it. So having a courtship book is something I feel like is the first thing that should happen, something you should keep after marriage, something you should keep after wedding, and you could always refer to. So the first thing that you guys discuss is your historical background. Now I feel like I'm not going to give you an order, I will just be listing it out and you discuss it at your own pace, number and all that. So some things we should discuss there are personal background, his personal background, your personal background, what's up, what is his personal background, where is he from, when was he born and all that, just everything about his personal background up till date, his parental background, his place of birth, his date of birth, life before conversion. Yes, because I don't expect you as a Christian to marry someone who is not yet converted. You should marry someone of the same tribe. So life before conversion, what was his life before conversion? Conversion, when was he converted? How did it happen? Life after conversion. Yes, because sometimes when you don't know these things, you just assume the person is converted, but the person is not actually converted. He just came from a Christian background. He doesn't even know anything about salvation. So I think it's important to discuss this. Also, you discuss your personal hopes and fears. Yes, what are your hopes about marriage? What are the expectations you've heard? What are the fears you've heard about marriage? Discuss it, and you guys should trash it. Now discuss peculiar sicknesses and diseases. In some families, they have a particular sickness, maybe high blood pressure or sugar. Discuss it, understand what you're going into, what you're expecting. These are things that you shouldn't be ashamed to tell each other, because if you don't say it, it will still happen, or it might still happen, and then it's going to be like, so you knew and did not tell me. It's kind of tampers or tramples on the trust. So these are things that you should freely discuss and know if you're willing to go ahead or not. Personal likes and dislikes. What are the things you like? What are the things you don't like? Think about it before you discuss it. Then family superstition. In some places they have family superstition. This is still under historical background. They have some family superstition that it will shock you. You never knew, but when you go for marital rights, you start seeing things, or when you lose a partner, you start hearing things. That discuss it, asking questions, make inquiries. The places you're going to get married to, what are the superstitions that encircles or is part of the place that you're going to be getting married to. So that's for historical background. Now for spiritual commitment, we're discussing any definite call from God. Does he have a call from God on his life? This is something that somehow you should be aware of. If you've gotten to the point of courtship, or it could be a time when you're getting to know. Maybe he did not even know. You guys discuss it and you're like, okay babe, think about this and pray about this. What do you think? Do you think you have a call from God, or do you think in the future you want to go into ministry? This is the spiritual commitment and all that. Yeah. Now, does he have any reservation if you hope, or does she have any reservation if you hope to go into ministry sometime in the future? Also, any personal spiritual ambition. Yes. Do you have any personal spiritual ambition? Does he have any personal spiritual ambition? You know, some persons don't actually want to grow. Some persons just feel like I'm born again and that's all that matters. So discuss your personal spiritual ambition. Where do you want to see yourself with God in a few years to come? Where do you want him to see? Where does she want to see herself with God in a few years time? You know that fellowship meeting. In some homes, it is just Sunday. Yes, and some guys are like businessmen. They don't see the idea of going to church midweek services. So when you get married to someone and the person is always like, baby, let's go to church on a Wednesday, they're like, excuse you, I don't do that, I did not agree on that. It becomes an issue. So discuss on it. Fellowship meeting days, that's after you would have known that you guys would actually be attending the same church, or you discuss that too. Do you want to go to the same church? Any plans to change church in future, tomorrow? So fellowship meeting, discuss it. Do you think your children would have to be part of the process? Would you be going to church with your children and your wife will be going to another church? Stuff like that. Just discuss. And then involvement in activity. Some persons don't want to be pastors. Some persons don't want to be workers. Some persons don't want to be leaders or escorts in their church. Discuss it. Would he be the type of person, or would she be the type of person that will say, baby, no, you are not going to be any choir member. You are not going to be any ushers. I don't want any lady around you. Don't mind me. So, is he or she free with you being involved in spiritual activities or religious activities in church? Discuss it. This is basically all that I can say that you should discuss under spiritual commitment. There could be a list of other things that could come to your mind when you start up this discussion. So let's get into the third topic. Communication. Communication is one of the biggest. Oh my god, I'm going through my courtship book now and I'm like, communication, we took time to discuss it because I don't know, but to ladies, communication matters a lot. And communication is one of the bedrock of marriages. If you can't communicate properly, if you don't know how your partner communicates, you tend to misunderstand him or her a lot, and it's just going to be a roller coaster of problems. So under communication, you discuss how to tell one another his needs. So when I was courting, or when I was in a relationship with my husband, then fiance, I think most times when something happens and I'm not happy with him, we could finish talking and he will not know, or I would expect him to know, but he feels like he did not know, or he would say he did not observe. And I'm like, why? I changed my voice tone. I was not sounding as excited. He would tell me, I felt like, he would just give me an excuse, he did not know, and seriously, he did not know. Then after the call, oh, okay, yeah, after the call, I'll just send a message. You did not observe, you are not sensitive, guys. So at some point when we came to discussing this, we had to talk about it. What is your means of communication? So it's not going to be like a surprise. Why is this girl always acting up like this? Why the drama and all that? So discuss it. How to tell one another's need when you need something. How do you talk about it? Through text messages, through calls, through, you must talk about it. No, you must talk about it. No text messages, no call. Just talk about it face to face. Let's discuss it. Yeah. Then statements that hurt each other. You know, when you are single, or normally with your friends, you could say something like, "Is something wrong with you?" and then you guys joke about it. And to you, it's nothing. But try it with someone you call a partner. Maybe he was brought up in a home, or she was brought up in a home filled with violence and all that. And it's not like he's just being too patriarchal, or she's being too whatever. But they don't just like the word. So it's good to discuss statements that hurt each other. Some men could just endure, or it keeps building up until one day they tell you, "This, you've been insulting me all my life," and you're like, "When?" So discuss statements that hurt each other, please. It's very important. Discussion time. Yes, I feel like so many couples skip this part in their courtship, or when they're dating, because they feel like we would always discuss, we're even in the same house, but life happens and activities come up and you go out and come in tired, sleep. That's it. There's no time to discuss. Maybe you discuss just over dinner or over breakfast, and that's not too healthy. So so I feel like there should be a time for discussion as a couple, maybe bedtime before you sleep, at least 15 minutes, because now you guys are cutting. You must speak on phone at least every day. So the same energies should be replicated to keep that bond. So it could either be a date, having a date time together, maybe once in a month you go out on a date, or time with children, discussion time with children. Is it just doing family devotion? Do you want it to just be doing family devotion, or do you want to spend time every Thursdays discussing how far have we gone this month? Do you want to have a family time to discuss, to look back to how the last month was, finances, everything? there should be a discussion time, and I think this is something that is advisable, yes, for couples who are living together. Now, what pet name would you like? You said this thing now could be, it could sound funny, but you're dating and it's still sweet to you people, baby, blah 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 blah, sugar, sweeter, but in essence, he loves to be called Papa Emeka. Okay guys, let me sabotage my husband. When we came to this point, I was like, babe, what pet name would you like to be called? His name is Good News and okay Chiku. He was like, good or okay. I'm like, what's that? So he asked me, I told him, this is the pet name I want to be calling you, and this is the pet name I love to be called. He now said, okay, he doesn't have any issues with any pet name. He can call him any pet name. So that was why I don't call him Good. That's why I don't call him Good or okay. This is his preference, but he doesn't just have any. He doesn't just feel like Treasure is bad. He doesn't feel like Misukri is bad. He doesn't feel like anything is bad, but this was just what came to his mind, because he's not all that smooshy type of person. And me, I had a list of pet names you should call me. So we discussed it, because if he calls me G, what's G, babe? Like, I might not respond because I might not think I'm the one. So that's it. Discuss pet names. Also, settling differences. How do you want differences to be settled? These things are small things that could cause issues in marriages, but we just overlook them. So how do you want to settle differences? Do you want to involve external factors? At what point do you want to involve external factors? If you're involving external factors, who must it be and who should it not be? You get, do you have to settle discussions? Did you get what I'm saying? Some people do it, you hurt me and then you just come back and then you're like babe everywhere. No, I don't think it's the best way to settle differences. Talk about it or act about it. Talk about it. Don't raise your hand on each other. Don't be violent. Don't use your words to abuse each other. These are things that you should talk about, to know his own views about it. I don't feel like being physically intimate is the best way to settle issues. Talk about it first, and then you can use physical intimacy, entering Jerusalem, to make up, to just make the other person smile or something like that. I don't know what is going on. One thing you should understand is that the goal, you should have goals. What's your goal in settling differences? Most times the goal in settling differences should be that we are getting together, not like we want to find out who is right or wrong. Nobody must be the right person. Nobody must be the wrong person. Is it so that we are going to come back together as couples and we're going to be fine? Is it so that the children is going to have a good example? The children are going to have a good example to look up to, have a goal for settling your differences. Then the next thing is, how do you apologize to each other? Yes, if you read 5 love languages, you see that there is also 5 apology languages. Sometimes, some people have, like me, you don't just tell me I'm sorry. It sounds, you just want to say so that you just end the discussion fast. I'm sorry, I promise you I won't do it again. Like some people feel like saying I'm sorry is okay. Like my husband, I'm sorry baby, I'm so sorry, just others, I'm so sorry. He's okay. Me, I'm so sorry, babe, you're not sorry. Like, do you understand? How do you apologize to each other? How does she love to be? What's her sorry language? Go and read 5 Love Language by Gary Chapman for the married people. It will give you a clue about what I'm talking about, and you guys should discuss it. Then external factors, like I said, external factors is important. Do you want to involve people in settling your differences? Who do you want to involve and who don't you want to involve? Then the next thing under that communication is living with neighbors. I don't know, because when we got to this part in our discussion manual, it was a little bit tough because we did not understand what to discuss there. But along the line, we found out like people who live in a large community or in a large compound who have to interact with neighbors, this could be an issue. Some people don't want their children to interact with other neighbors. Some people just want their children to be inside always and not interact. So I feel like this should be something that should also be discussed. So means of communication, like I said, what is your predominant means of communication? Do you love words, gestures, symbols? So find out the best means of communication. Now to the 4th part, finance. I think we're going to stop here. We have like 12 topics and they are well detailed, so I hope to continue this in order, it's going to be a series, so we're going to just stop at number 4 today. This is one of, you see, I learned when I was reading, because I read a lot of books before I got married. I learned to see finances, you get what I'm saying? I don't want them to ban my video, that sex word. Then finances, that word, and communication. basically communication is part of it. But these are some of the biggest issues that couples face in marriage, so I feel like it's also important to discuss it. So under finances, budgeting and spending, hey, who is the spender, who is the spendthrift? The way we budget is, we feel like it's best to do it based on percentage. We spend so and so percent of our salary or of our income on this, so and so percent, just in case it fluctuates, like it goes up or comes down, that percent remains constant. But if the salary comes down and you said you're going to spend 50k is not going to be enough to sustain you guys. To discuss budgeting and spending, read books about it. How much do you want to save as a family? How much do you want to spend monthly as a family? Don't forget to also plan for your wedding proper during this period. How much do you want to spend? What's the budget? What's the limit maximum you want to spend for your wedding? Then discuss the bank and banking system. Some persons want to have their private bank account and nothing like a joint account. Some persons feel like having a joint account is the best, and you can still have a private account for any other thing, but you pay so and so amount into this joint account. So discuss it. What works for you guys could be the best for you people, so discuss it. I'm not in any place to tell you guys what to choose, so just take bank accounts. Do you want to have accounts for charity? Okay, yeah, so just say bank accounts, joint accounts, like I said, joint account or personal account. Then possible areas of financial demands. You should discuss possible areas of financial demands. Don't assume they will not come up. They will come up, whether you discuss it or not. It will happen. Does it believe in tithing? What are your stance on tithing? Offering, charity. These are areas where you people could spend. So make provision for it in your monthly expenditures or expenses. Find out what he thinks, find out what she thinks about this possible area of spending. Tithing, offering, charity, mission work, then housekeeping. What are the things that how much do you think, what percentage you think would go into housekeeping? Then investment for future. Guys, don't forget to invest for your future, not just for you, for your children. It's very important. So you should be part of what you guys discuss. Find out the best investment plan for you people and work on it. Extended family. What is the plan? Because you're not marrying her, you're not marrying him, you're marrying everything. You're marrying him and his family, just like you're the first priority and he's the first priority. So discuss it, possible areas of expenditures, family. What do you think? What is your contribution monthly to your family? Is it monthly? Is it bi-monthly? Is it quarterly? Is it every half of the year you put in something there or stuff like that? Then buying clothes, furniture, food, projects. These are possible areas of spending. And then vacation, for people who are interested in vacation, if he believes in it, discuss these things. Don't assume that who wouldn't like vacation, who wouldn't like to go and enjoy. Dates, these are possible areas of spending, and I've just given them to you guys. This video is becoming too long and this is not what I wanted. So like I said, we have a whole lot of things to discuss in this area, and today we're going to just look at this. Like I said, do what works for you prayerfully. Have these discussions prayerfully and try to jot them down. Remember, if you're new in this channel and you've not subscribed, you're breaking my heart. You're making my heart break. Guys, please subscribe to my channel and leave a positive comment or a negative criticism. If it is stupid, I'm gonna block it. I'm gonna remove it. And then that. So thank you so much for staying true. I remain Valuemama, grateful Obiyo. Grateful Ogechiku, and I'm glad to have you watching my video. Expect more spicy video actually, because we're going to continue this. Oh, sorry.